Yo, what is up guys, your sticky friend Cemtex here. I'm trying to get in the habit of not holding the whisk anymore, because it's going to be annoying eventually, so I'm just going to cut it off now. As you may be able to tell, I try to get a little bit of better lighting, so maybe it's a little more bearable to look at my face. You may or may not have seen my Denmark vlog, more of a travel montage if you will. That only really told half the story, just showed kind of more of the scenic things. You have no idea what I had to do to get through. But to tell the story right, let's go back to the beginning. Alright, get to the airport like 2 hours early, as any good citizen should, at least on an international flight. Now keep in mind, this is only my second time ever flying, well, my second ever trip flying, so technically it would be my third time flying. I kinda knew how to get through the airport, but I wasn't like 100% comfortable with it yet. But since it was an international flight, I couldn't get the boarding pass just printed on my phone, or I couldn't get the little barcode thingy. So I had to find the right kiosk and go have them print my stuff out. For some reason, to get into the TSA, there's a line right here for the TSA, and then just right here was for the kiosk I needed to go into. Mine's a fucking airport, so it's full of people. So the lines look the same to me. I just got on the first one I saw. I'm like, alright, this looks like the right direction. I'm just following the signs, hoping for the best. I get about halfway through, then I see up ahead, there's people scanning boarding passes, IDs, all that. Oops, I am in the wrong line. Keep in mind, I've been in this line for about 6 minutes now, so I'm kind of into it. Being very awkward, I look around like, how do I get out of here? Do I have to jump over the rope or something? Then I realize that the ropes actually just kind of lift up, and you can just walk out and re-close it. Cool party trick, I don't fucking know. Nonetheless, I get into the line, you know, I get all my stuff, it's all good, we're good. This one lady was having an attitude with the TSA person, guarantee it won't get you anywhere. They don't want to fucking be there either. If your computer's not in a separate fucking bin, you're not going anywhere. Now, I know I was going out of gate 12, so I decided to go sit at gate 13, which is just kind of across the way because it was less crowded. Then, like, out of a fucking movie, there's this school trip kind of thing. I don't know what it was. It was like 10 kids and one chaperone adult. I'm assuming their teacher. The reason I say this is like a class thing, maybe it was like a mission trip kind of thing, but he said you're gonna get graded on it, whatever it was. I don't know where the fuck they were going. But of course, they're being all loud and hyper, and this dude looked like he was out of a fucking cartoon. He was like all animated and shit. Come on, let's go. Let's take a selfie, guys. Come, sir, you want to take a picture of what? You want? All good, no worries. I'm like, you know what? They're being a bit obnoxious. It's whatever. They're excited. I don't know fucking why. If they're doing a long ass flight, they are doing a long ass flight, because when my gate starts getting called, guess who stands up and starts walking over there? The whole fucking class of them. I'm like, oh, this shit better not go down in the plane, or the plane is going down. I'm going on a no-flight list. For legal reasons, that was a joke. This flight was a bit expensive because I did pay for extra leg room because I am a tall guy, like 6'3 and a half, 6'4. I just try to say 6'3 and a half, even though it sounds annoying as fuck, because one doctor has told me 6'3 and a half, another doctor has called me 6'4. But then if I'm next to one of my friends that are like 6'4, I feel like they're maybe like half an inch taller than me, so I'll take the half. I don't give a fuck. Either way, it's a good height. Fuck you. So I buy extra leg room. It's an international flight, obviously, and I do have a layover in Germany. Just a quick, I think, hour and a half layover. We'll get to that in a minute. So I got into the plane, all pumped as fuck, ready to go. I'm gonna stretch these legs out. No blood clots for this guy. You saw my video, they had like a little screen where you could actually watch the outside of the plane. There was cameras on the tail of it and then underneath it. It was a cool plane, but on those monitors is where it showed your seating. I didn't know that. I was looking on the walls for it, so I walked all the way to the very back of the plane. This was a long-ass plane with 3 rows. I got to like the kitchen area where all the stewardesses were. Sorry, I don't know where my seat is. Oh, it'll be up there. And then he points to a row of seats in their fucking economy with no extra leg room. This must be a mistake. I'm pretty sure I paid for it. I'm pretty sure. Looked over it. No, it just says economy. So what the fuck happened? I don't know. Went to check out. It switched me back to economy. I want to kill myself. He said, don't you fear, young buck. Don't know what accent that was. I'm pretty sure he was German. I don't know what the fuck I just did. Don't you worry, young buck. This row right here, right next to me all the way in the back of the plane, completely empty. You take whole row. You have lots of room. Okay? If I had to sit in economy, I guess I'll sit by myself. I don't care if I'm in the very back of the plane. I mean, Rosa Parks fought for that, but old German ways, huh? That was also a joke, please. No, but like, okay, let's make the most of the situation. It's all good. So I think there was like 6 of us towards the back that had rows to ourselves, which was kind of cool in hindsight. And so the 9.5 hours starts. Granted, I've never been out of the country before. Well, in 3rd grade, I went to Canada for a school trip, but like, that wasn't actually like an experience or anything, because I don't remember much of it. I remember the actual zoo. Went to a place called Granby Zoo. I don't know where in Canada that is. And for this being my 3rd time ever in a plane, it was a pretty big deal flying 9.5 hours just to Germany. I found out after the first trip that I'm not really scared of flying. Wish I knew that before I asked my friends to drive 2 hours just to fly with me to our trip to Texas. Parker Austin, I fucking love you. And it really hits you after like the first 4 hours. You're like, oh, this is a long flight, because it's been 4 hours and I'm not even halfway done. And I still have a second flight after this. Alright, we're gonna fast forward a bit. Finally, I landed in Munich, Germany. The Munich airport is fucking enormous. I'm in Germany, in this fucking mansion of an airport. That doesn't even, it has its own zip code. Like, what the fuck is going on? But you have to get on a shuttle bus That's like a bullet train. That shit goes fast as fuck to bring you from one side of the airport to another if your gate's on the other side. For the first time I landed in Munich, I was fucking lost. I got out, had to walk up like 1,000 steps, did not know where I was going, went to the wrong side of the airport, and then I asked someone for help that was there. And then the guy said, she speaks English. You just did, you son of a bitch. But then I'm like, okay, I need to get to this gate. And she just casually said, like, this is an everyday thing, which I'm sure it is for her. Oh no, that's in the other building. There's another building? But like I said, there's a bullet train that takes you between like 2 buildings that are like connected, but it's just really fucking big, so I don't know what she meant by that. After 30 minutes of being lost, I found a little path to go down. And this brought me to the passport control. And at this time, I didn't even know where the escalators were. There was a lot of escalators in there. The second time I was there, that airport was my bitch. I knew it front and back. So I ran up flights and flights of stairs. I'm wearing a heavy ass jacket because I didn't want to squeeze in my backpack, so all my clothes were in there. And I couldn't put it in my carry-on, so I'd have to drape it over my arm, but I was panicking because I didn't know where I was going, so I didn't want to stop and take it off. So I'm fucking sweating, like running up the stairs, fucking Rocky Balboa shit. But then I see my saving grace. I see the huge fucking class I saw back in my first airport. Yeah, no shit. I sat there just kind of watching them for a minute to see where they go. I didn't say a word to them. I was just stalking those motherfuckers. And I guess they were waiting on someone because they weren't moving. So I'm like, I don't have time to wait here to see what they're fucking doing. So I gotta just guess. Eventually I got down to this little bullet train thing and I got on. So there was like a good amount of people in there. We were kind of stuffed in there. It felt like a New York subway. Never been to New York. Fuck you. Then it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna start moving. Okay, there's like railings and shit everywhere like to hold on to. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It's like, how fast is this thing gonna go? That thing fucking took off at record speed. I grabbed the pole for dear life and I was standing up. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. No, that shit goes fast because it gets you there in literally 60 seconds. I don't know how fast it goes, but I almost flew off my feet, I'll tell you that. But finally, after many more stairs, pouring sweat, profusely dying, I make it to my gate with 20 minutes left to spare. Then I sit down there and there's like this group of girls just like kind of looking at me and they all kind of like just giggling like they were talking shit about Americans or something. I don't know what the fuck they were saying, so they were speaking German, which they probably were. They say, hey, look, it's a I digress. Now, the second plane, since it was only a 90-minute flight, I guess they said, hey, let's make it as shitty as possible. Let's just make them fucking packed like sardines. I mean, if you have any height on you at all, your fucking knees will be bleeding by the end of this. We want you to hurt. What the fuck? I sat down, my knees were pressed against the seat like this with like so much force. I was so pissed off at this point. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then the girl next to me, I assume they were from Germany or somewhere around, so they didn't speak any English, but the girl that sat next to me looked like I was about to murder her. Like we were sitting next to each other and she was just like wide-eyeing me and shit. Getting off that flight, I was actually really pissed off, even though I finally got to my destination after another 90 minutes of flying in a fucking sardine can, because my knees were actually killing me. And I won't book anything but an aisle seat, because at least I can have one leg kind of out. But can you really? Because the stewardesses walk by every 10 minutes and then some motherfucker having to piss. Pee before you get on that fucking plane because it's 90 minutes. If I see you stand up once, I will fucking skull throttle you. That's a skull like, hey, my girlfriend's gonna pick me up. It'll be all cool. How the fuck do I get out? I'm finally in Copenhagen airport, and guess what? That shit's huge too, for no fucking reason. Not as big as Munich, but it's fucking big. And I'm thinking I'm going the wrong way, because I shit you not, I'm walking for 25 minutes at these exit signs. I'm like, there's no way I'm still going right now. Then I finally go through some metal detectors that no one's manning, you just go through them, and then it brings you to like this baggage claim area. Barely any service, because I'm in the middle of bubble fuck nowhere. Then we just agreed, okay, just keep walking straight, it'll lead you to somewhere eventually. I walk about 7 steps, and there was the exit. I walk out these big, beautiful doors. There's people standing around with Danish flags just waving them. And I was there, big smile. I'm like, wow, you guys all did this for me? Oh, you're picking other people up. And then the long drive home. And then, yeah, I'm there, greeted by her 4 psychopathic dogs. I shit you not, I don't know where she got these dogs. Maybe fucking wish.com, but they're all fucked in the head. I mean that in the nicest ways. I absolutely love them. My favorite I call Meerkat. And it's actually my YouTube profile picture. The reason I love this dog is she's very affectionate, but she also is very bendy. She's literally a slinky, but you can pick her up and she'll just keep bending backwards in your hands for no reason. Like she's trying to break her spine. She will just be an upside down U, her stomach in the air, and she likes doing it. I don't know why. We're literally just holding her, and then she'll just like, I'm going back. And then when she does it, she brings her little paws up like this, and I'm like, you're a fucking meerkat motherfucker, huh? And so we started calling her Meerkat. But that's not her only quirk. She's a neurotic fucking licker. I sat there and watched her lick the couch for 30 minutes, and then she'll just lick your hands for like 45 minutes. It's insane. I'm like, dog, give your tongue a break. Then there was another older dog called Baby. That's an original name for a Danish person, alright? Cut him some slack. She had 2 quirks. She didn't know how to lick. She was breathing really fucking heavy like a warthog. Almost called that bitch Pumbaa. She would get excited and try to lick your face, but she couldn't figure out the timing. So every time she tried to lick you, it looks like she's going in to bite your face, but then the last second the little tongue goes out. She's like, ow! It's like, god damn. But after I found that she wasn't trying to bite me, I'm like, okay, you're cool. Yeah, join the club. Yeah, cool. Then there's a little asshole I get. Again, Danish names, don't fucking ask me. I can barely pronounce them. He gives off grumpy old man energy. He's the barker of the group, very vocal. He barked at me for a good 30 minutes, and he doesn't really go to anyone but her. But during the trip, he came and laid on my lap and took a nap, so I guess he fucks with me. Oh, and the quirk with I get is his teeth are a little fucked up, so he has like kind of like two bottom teeth that stick out. It's cute though. It's endearing. Don't worry. Then the last one that I fucking hate, and the only reason I hate this dog, I'll tell you why, is Chesto. They're all related in some way. I'm not going into that right now. This dog, as you can see, always has its tongue out the side of its mouth, which is adorable. But the problem with this fucking dog is it's terrified of everyone for no reason. She takes so much care of the dogs, so friendly to them, fucking pampers them. And this little asshole, no matter what, if you try to pet him, sprint the other way. Walk in the same room, sprint the other way. But anyway, I'm finally in Denmark. The first night we had something called, it was a Swedish sausage dish, but it originated in Denmark, but it uses Swedish sausage. And visually, it's not much to look at. Like, it looks really fucking weird, but it actually tastes really good. We got this weird salad pizza thing that I was like, what the fuck? That's just a common thing there? Because at the top, it just looks like it's a bunch of lettuce and shit. But underneath it, there's like kebab meat and shit, and it tasted like a taco on a pizza. And I'm like, this, I would squeeze babies' heads. Why? I would do some outlandish shit to get this here. Went to a Chinese restaurant with our whole family, met our whole family, shout out to them. Was a bit of a language barrier there, but we managed. Sometimes I didn't know what was going on, just smiling like. Everyone's a little shy about trying to speak it, you know, maybe around me because I'm fluent in English, I would hope. You guys don't have to feel shy, I don't speak any fucking Danish. Well, that's not true. I speak a very, very little amount of Danish. I don't think I can form coherent sentences. We all went to this Chinese buffet, and yeah, it was interesting stuff. There was sushi, a bunch of different chickens, kind of the stuff that we would have here in a Chinese buffet. So I just kind of grabbed whatever if it looks okay, and I'm like, I'll just try this. I'm eating, I'm like, this tastes kind of mapley. I wonder what this is. And then like, oh, that's duck. You mean those things we see literally all over Denmark? I have like 20 of them in my video. That one? Those quack quack? I actually went up for more. I'm kind of one of those people that would love to try like alligator, all that kind of shit. Guys, hear me out. Please, America as a whole, listen to me. So in Denmark, they have this famous chocolate milk called Kakio. I don't even fuck with chocolate milk like that, really. It was the best shit ever. Literally, I wanted to get some shipped here. So the week has passed, sadly, I had to go back. So we go back to the Copenhagen airport. And the first thing I noticed is the TSA is a lot more lax there than it is in America. Like, you don't have to take off your shoes or anything, and there's just one casual metal detector. So I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel safe. Sounds like a flex or whatever, but since I'm taller, the numbers were way down, like, under the overhead thing. I couldn't see where they were. So again, I walked all the way to the back of the plane. I'm like, where the fuck are the numbers? Then I got lower. I'm like, oh, they're right there. So I go back and find my seat. And I'm confused looking at it. I'm like, no, this is my seat. Some old bitch sitting in it. She spoke broken English. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's my seat. Oh, do you want to sit? You want to sit right there? Pointing in the row behind, which I assume is supposed to be her seat. It being a fucking middle seat. I'm not sitting in a fucking middle seat. Do you see how tall I am? And do you see how fucking tiny you are? I will break your little legs right now for sport. To give you context, she just looked like a Karen, the same kind of look, but older. So she kind of had an attitude, got out of the seat, got to her middle seat. I'm like, fuck you, I don't care. I'll sit next to your bitch friend here and keep her company. Didn't talk to her the whole flight, obviously, because why would I? That was a weird thing. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are to be entitled to my seat? It wasn't even like I got on the plane late. I was getting on when everyone else was getting on. You just literally sat there and you're like, yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. It's a fucking packed flight. All the flights that were like an hour and a half, just a 90 minutes one, were always packed because it's a short flight. The huge one back to America is going to be more empty because not many people are going to take that huge flight from that specific location to that location. We don't even connect to like an airport. We had to walk out onto the ground and get on this bus, which will take us all the way to the other side of the airport. That's how big this fucking airport is. We took a bus to get there after we landed. Went up to 20 escalators, took the fucking bullet train, got through passport control, all good. And finally, the last gate I had to go through, the last security little checkpoint I had to go to. I had to get in line, show my vaccination card, show my boarding pass, and I'd be good to go. So I do just that. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't accept a vaccination card to get into America. You know the place you got the vaccination card? What they said would be fine on the trip? Yeah, no, you gotta go get a COVID test. I'm in Germany. I don't have a local healthcare provider sitting around the fucking corner. But obviously, I'm never outwardly rude to people unless they're rude first. She was a sweet lady, so of course I'm gonna be nice. I thought this would be fine. This said it would be fine. I don't know where to get a COVID test. And she said, you can actually get one here at gate, like, whatever gate. Lucky for me, my flight ended up being delayed 2 hours. So, okay. I'm not rushing for time. I'll run back to the other side of the airport and get that little COVID test for you, and I'll be right back. Go through all that again. go on another bullet train back to the other side, down all the escalators, and I shit you not, it's a lot of escalator riding. It's so high up, please. And then I'm kind of lost because, you know, Germany. I know I'm around the right area. Like, it's this kind of dead end place. It goes to another gate, I guess, and you have to do more security. So I asked the lady, I'm like, hi, do you know where the COVID testing station is? And it ended up being right behind me. On the white wall, they use like light ass letters. So how the fuck am I supposed to see that? Of course, she said in this weird accent, she's like, it's right behind you. You got to read it. I didn't like that tone. I was already pissed off. I didn't really like it. I didn't lash out. I didn't fucking see it. And I turned around and walked away. Walk into the COVID office. 8 or 9 other Americans there, pretty pissed off because of the situation we're all in. Another stereotypical Karen in there, actually yelling at the lady. There's like only 2 people working in it there, and then a doctor in the back to do the testing. Well, I sit there waiting like 10 minutes while she tries to yell and cry about it. I'm like, it's not gonna change anything. Let's get the shit over with. I go up, I'm like, hi. I guess I need to do a COVID test. I thought it would work, but my vaccination card didn't work, so here I am. It's like, okay, you gotta book the appointment online. Oh, you want me to scan the little QR code right there and set the appointment online instead of just telling you right now? Well, like 7 of us in here, we can be adults about this. But I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. Scan the QR code, went online, entered the information, did whatever. The fucking website went down. Your website seems not to work right now. I don't know what to do about this. Like, oh, I'll do it manually for you. Tell me you can do it manually the whole time. You maybe waste 15 minutes trying to do your shitty fucking website. Okay, do you have a credit card for the $45 it costs? Excuse me? Aren't your bitches healthcare free? What are you doing to me? I know I'm not a citizen, but this is rape. $45 to get skull fucked with a cotton swab. Just to tell me I'm not sick. I know I'm not sick. Waited 40 minutes before they printed out the results. I'm like, okay, thank God my shit's delayed, so whatever. Now, on this flight back, I went through and bought the extra upgrade to get extra legroom this time, so I didn't have the same problem. It was actually almost worse, because I felt so out in the open, because there were no seats in front of me, because it was by an emergency exit, that's why it's extra legroom. The armrest didn't lift or anything to give me extra room, because it was mounted on there, because there's a screen mounted there. So I felt kind of like squished the whole time. Not like super crazy, but it just wasn't that comfortable. I'd rather be laying down again. So next time I'm definitely just going to do normal economy and hope for the best. The only bad part there was it actually just felt so long. It felt so much longer than before, and at that point I was already up for 20 hours. I didn't feel comfortable sleeping on the plane, especially because I felt so out in the open, and I know I snore sometimes, and I was not going to be that guy who's just snoring on the plane. When I got home and I accidentally slept 13 hours. Never slept longer than 9 hours in my life, and that's on a rare occasion. I usually sleep about 7. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the trip. It was a great time. I hope you enjoyed this little depth into my fucking hellish journey. Definitely would do it again. Alright guys, until next time, it's been your sticky friend Cemtex, and I'm out. Later.